Hey folks, Taco Bonsai. My last video I said it wouldn't be a couple days till I made a new one. Lie detector test said that was a lie. And the reason is, as you can see in front of me, my Ninebark fireside, I think it's fireside is the type, has started to not just bud out, but some of these have started to burst. So I'm going to be repotting this. I pruned it when I purchased it in the fall. There are some boxwood cuttings tucked in here. I don't know that I'm going to pursue those unless they're already rooted, but I want to see what the roots look like on this Ninebark. I might need to worry about some reverse taper, and hopefully I can do it quickly enough that you all won't be tired of me. This is the first outdoor bonsai that I will be introducing you guys to. So just to confirm, yep, wherever it was set on this, it is no longer there. That will be the front right there, but that could change. I don't know what my roots look like. I just know that I've got some very big roots up here. So this is all gonna come out. I might even need to put in a temporary pot if it looks like there's too many roots, but we'll see what happens. I might just be cutting this one down or cutting another one down to put it in half of a plastic pot if I don't have the right size pot for it. But that's what you'll see today on Taco Bonsai. I'm gonna take my camera and zoom in. So there you can see a lot better, and I'll use one of my tools here to point. So you've got really big buds here. Of course you can't see very well, right there. All this is budded out really nicely down here. I'm not gonna do any pruning on that. In fact, I'm gonna be very careful not to mess with that. I've got some good empty spaces on the trunk here. The top of the tree is right up here, just above where you can see, literally just above. And this may not be alive, but I'm not going to touch it again. I'm not trying to isolate dead branches. I'm not trying to work on structure on the top side. I pruned it back to allow live branches to grow, and now I'm working on the bottom side to make sure I've got the proper infrastructure and to make sure I've got good potting soil in there and no rogue roots that I need to address today. Now, as much as we like looking at the top of the plant, I'm also going to readjust to be looking at the bottom of the plant and readjust my angle so that I'm looking a little farther down. As with many, I give it a little squeeze. It's not super tight in here, but that's not surprising because it's only been in here as long as I've let it. So, nice view at the bottom of the pot. There's nothing really left behind, which means this was, not necessarily in here for a while, but it was very healthy in there. Off to the side. Whew. And now the really fun part. This is going to be a challenge. I don't typically, oh man, this is a big one actually. I don't work on ones this big very often. So I guess I'll start just going at it. Just kind of taking away some of the soil, a lot of surface roots, but I think I did clear off some of the mulch when I first got it. So it rained a little bit today. I work outside with my day job. So that rain definitely affected me today, but not nearly as much as I thought it would. Even when it was raining, it wasn't raining hard. I really thought it was going to ruin my day as far as getting stuff done. All right, so already I can tell this stuff is just a mat. So rather than trying to mess with all that, I might just take, I'm almost tempted just to saw around this. I don't think I'm getting any good progress. Well, here we go. This is a little bit looser. All right, let's get some of this away from the top. I don't know, I believe it's deciduous. This might be a slightly, or a semi-evergreen or a semi-deciduous tree. Not sure on that. I haven't done a lot of research on them. I should have researched it before I did repotting. Word to the wise, not me, or to anybody else that is actually wise. Do a little Google search, do a little YouTube search. A big piece of bark, don't want that ever again. Before you go repotting or doing any kind of work on trees, check it out. This one I'm less worried about because I got it in a garden center. It's a, nursery stock sort of thing. So I don't think I'm gonna have any issues with it giving up on me. I've seen them, I think. They look kind of like barberries, in my opinion, when I saw them. I've seen them, I think, just being like hedgerows, and they're pretty sturdy, I'm assuming, so are barberries. Barberries are incredibly sturdy, so I'm not terribly worried about it, but I did wait until today to do this repot. I saw it starting to have buds come out and burst. Now it's not heavily budding out, it's a little bit early, but we're only getting one freezing day, I think, for the rest of this month, February, and it's barely below freezing, it's 30. So it's not very freezing. And tomorrow is supposed to be a high of 80. And when I say below freezing 30, I'm talking Fahrenheit. And the following day, I think it's going to be 25 or 26 centigrade, 0 being freezing in centigrade. The only reason I know centigrade to Fahrenheit at all, that's a piece of, I think, yeah, it was a piece of, what's it called? Pumice or perlite? One of those two. But the only reason I know is because I know that 23, which is tomorrow, you might be viewing this on the 23rd, is 73.3 or 73, basically 73 and a half degrees Fahrenheit is 23 degrees centigrade. And I think that is like the perfect temperature for outdoor weather. And being American and being from the area that I'm at, there's two very significant meanings for the number 23. One is Michael Jordan, an incredible basketball player, and the other one, well, it's actually another basketball player. So basketball is really the reason why 23 is a significant number at all, but I just think it's cool. So I don't see any rooting on these, which is fine. I can throw them tuck them in another pot. Actually, this one might be rooted. We'll see. But this one didn't root at all. I mean, it's a nice thick cutting, but I don't really love boxwoods like that. And I've got one, the one that I want. I think instead of boxwood, I usually go for hollies. So I'm going to put this to the side, but I may not do anything with it. All right, still digging through here. Not making a huge amount of fast process, but you know, I'm keeping an eye on it. It's not drying out. Yeah, so yeah, it's supposed to be nice and warm tomorrow. Hopefully I'll do something fun. We'll find out. I'll take the dog out, certainly. Let's see, is this? No, this wasn't either. That's okay. Put it off to the side, deal with it later. Jesus, this is not giving up anything. I'm gonna grab a root rake. Not a roller rake. All right. Forgive me, because this is not a roller rake, it's a back scratcher. I've sanded it down, it's not as rough as it could be. And it may tear some roots, but I need to move a little bit faster if I want people to keep watching my videos, and this is much faster. I do seem to have some good surface roots though, so I'm happy for that. I think I may have to switch tactics pretty soon and go after the bottom. So the way this is going, it's going to take me forever. But yeah, really pleased with these surface roots. Definitely. And what you see me doing is I'm kind of like lifting. I'm clearing out some of the soil underneath. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to tear any of these roots. I don't want to really be doing anything with the roots. I'm just trying to take the soil out of them and keeping the roots in place. When I lift them, it's to give myself a little more ability to create that, you know, all this coming down and out. So like right here doesn't look too bad, but there's still a lot of surface in here that has too much soil in it, especially if I'm going to bare root this, which I assume I'm going to have to. I have a lot more work to do. So what I do is I lift and I pull some out, and it just kind of works on the whole thing. So up at the top there, up here, really, really dense, beautiful roots. I don't know if that's characteristic of this plant, but down below the soil is nice and loose. So I might be doing a kind of preliminary on the top, then just taking off the bottom to give myself that space and get rid of the bulk of the soil. I'm gonna have to loosen it up regardless. I don't know if there's anything wrong with turning it like this, coming out this way, but sometimes I do that. Now I know I said in another video that I like the little, what you might call it? It's kind of like a stake, you know, like a skewer. I like that because the weight of it is nice for untangling roots. When I'm working with a smaller tree, that's great. With bigger trees, you don't really have to worry as much about keeping all the roots in perfect condition because there's so many of them, and typically there's enough energy stored in the plant, particularly in this place, particularly in this case where the plant is already starting to have the buds bud out, and that's a normal foliage color for this plant. It's a pretty cool plant. I'm not worried about, destroying this tree. I could probably, if my suspicions are true from the way it's been growing and the way it's used in landscaping, I could probably make it a cutting, really take it back to just the big structural primary roots, and it would still grow from that. I don't know if it's boxwood or, crepe myrtle sturdy, but it seems very sturdy so far. I mean, it's spent the whole winter outside. This winter, not so impressive. So he does pull some of those roots off. But other winters, for other places, I think my circumstances are still better than most, and they survive most circumstances. This is the only Ninebark that I have, which is, I saw it, I thought the structure was really cool. I was hoping there was some good roots to it, so I just went after it. Yep, see, another big piece of, it's a piece of bark. This isn't frozen, you can tell. If it was frozen, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. It does have a little bit of dampness to it, which is good. I wanted that. In fact, underneath here, so some of the soil actually isn't bad underneath. It's kind of more granular. It's not what I would use for bonsai, but it's really not bad. So I'm impressed with that. Whoever potted this up put some good stuff in the center there. All right. Yeah. If I knew how to do all that speeding up stuff that the other guys do, all the pros on YouTube do, I would totally do it for you. I have no idea how to do that stuff. So for now, I'm gonna try to do at least a little bit of talking while I do this. Yeah, I mean, it's got great roots. It does. Ooh. And lots of mulch in there. I like that mulch. Yeah, I don't have to do that much talking. Sometimes it's nice just to, listen to nothing. You can probably hear the fan going in the background. That's for my plants, of course. Throwing some stuff on the ground. But yeah, you might even be able to hear some birds outside. Birds that like to take roost on my balcony. They borrow some of the leaves sometimes. They really like the leaves or the blades from my ponytail palm. So that's always cool. I come down and take it before the cat eats them. I should play music or something in the background, shouldn't I? Well, let me make sure I've still got, you still have pretty good visibility here. All right, just working through it. You can see it's nice. I mean, it's not bad roots. Yeah. It might seem tedious, but that's the relaxing part about it. Sitting here and just, it's almost like being a kid in the sandbox, combing out all the roots. I think this one's coming up. Can't tell yet. We'll find out. I loved to play in the sandbox when I was a kid. I loved a lot of things outside when I was a kid. I don't know. Kind of grew up half in the city, half in a more rural area on my grandparents' farm that my mom now has farther out. I should say my mom's now taking over. She's going to be retiring there. So that's her farm. But it's never not been in the family. She has partial ownership of it at this moment. And if her siblings decide so, they're going to sell her the other share so that she can take full ownership and retire there. They don't have as much use for it. And my mom's retired. So good for her. Got a couple horses she's going to put there. A bunch of dogs, cats. I think they want to do chickens, which only last as long as the bears will let them. All right, so I've got a lot of dirt here. I'm going to dump it in my trash. And come back at it. But already I'm pretty encouraged to see it looking the way it does. This looks really good. The roots look good, they look healthy. Clearly the tree's alive. Gentle with it. All right, this is going to go in the trash before I forget what I'm doing. I don't reuse nursery soil like this. I could for certain things, but this is just, you know, good organic soil. And as Jay over at Zenobi Bonsai said, it attracts a lot of pests. I'm actually shocked I haven't seen it anymore.